everyone, and welcome to Jack and Cat Adventures. Today we're going to be making a good luck pork pot roast for New Year's, okay? So let's get started. I have a picnic roast right here, pork roast. It's boneless and it's tied. Get what you like. I'm getting this because you can shred it, okay? If you want to slice it, get one that's sliced. It doesn't matter, everything works in this, okay? So you need your crock pot. All the stuff you see out here we're going to use in time, but this is a step-by-step process, but it's easy. It's pretty much hands-off, pouring in, hands-off, okay? So what I do is I start by rinsing off my roast and drying it, and then I cut up some garlic. Now if you don't like garlic, don't do it. This isn't even in the recipe. I do it because we love garlic. So I cut up some garlic, and I'm just going to cut some slits into my roast and just stick in some garlic. This just gives it a little bit more flavor inside the meat, because everything we're doing pretty much is on the outside of the meat. So you will get the flavor, but you want some flavor inside that meat too. So just go all the way around your roast. Doesn't matter, just all willy-nilly, that's fine. Okay, just make sure you get it all over. And I can't tell you how much garlic you'll need because it depends on the size of your roast. I'm using 2 cloves right now, 2 very big cloves right now. And my roast is pretty small, so that'll let you know.
But it does give it really, really good flavor.
Yeah. And also, I know in our household, we were raised that you eat pork and sauerkraut on New Year's for good luck. So that's why I'm doing this. I always have done it because that's just what we've always done. So I'm just going to flip it over and finish putting in my garlic real quick. Sorry about my nose, you guys. I have a really bad cold I've had for a couple weeks now.
The house is sick.
Everyone's sick in the house, but I gotta get this made for good luck. I need some good luck. Okay. So let me see here. Let me just put a few more in and then we'll be done. Okay, guys? Especially in your fatty areas, get some of that in there so that fat gets some really good flavor. Alright, so now what you need is, I need chicken broth, please, or chicken stock.
Alright.
And what you're going to do is, you're going to put a little bit of chicken broth in the bottom of your pan. Now, use vegetable or chicken. Don't use beef. I know it's hard to find anything pork flavored anymore. So I just use chicken because it's the closest tasting to pork, and you're really not going to know the difference because once the roast cooks in your stock or broth, sorry guys, stock or broth, that's going to get poured off before we go on to the next step. So don't worry about the flavor, just don't use beef. I don't think it's going to be very good, okay? So while we wait for Jack, I just hope that all of you had a really nice Christmas and holidays. We did. My
Sous chef.
sous chef didn't get out what he was told to get out, but that's okay. Alright, so just pour a little bit in the bottom of your pan just to put your meat on. Okay? No salt, no pepper, because we're going to add soup mix, which has a ton of salt in it. So now we're going to add some more broth, just enough so this cooks. You know, in a crock pot, you don't want too much water. You don't want to like
make soup.
Boil it. Okay? Then you're going to take any flavor Lipton onion soup mix dry, and you're just going to spread it all over your roast. And just rub it in really good, guys. Get it in your soup mix so that you taste it all over the bottom and everything. Okay, let me wash my hands real quick. Alright, so now we're going to put this in our crock pot and we're going to cook it on high for 4 hours. And then we'll come back and finish. In the meantime, get ready 2 large jars of gravy, chicken, turkey, whatever, and 1 packet or can of sauerkraut. That's what we're going to need in our next step after the 4 hours, okay? Alright, so now the first 4 hours for our roast is done, so now we're moving on to our next step. I have ladled some of the stock, chicken stock that I had in here into a cup because we're going to use it a little bit later. So what you're going to need is you're going to need your sauerkraut. It says don't rinse it. I always rinse mine, and I like squeeze it out to make it dry. So I'm going to put that in the bottom of my pan. And then you're going to add 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And then what we're going to do is we're going to either, it depends on your roast at this point. Mine is, I'm able to shred mine, so I'm going to go ahead and shred it. You can cut it or shred it, however your roast will work, okay? It depends on the kind of cut you get. So I have these shredders. I'm just going to do this. Actually, I'm going to try and take off some of this fat first. Let me get my knife. Let me see here. Let's see if I can do it this way. Just kind of just cut it off just a little bit. You don't want all that fat in there. Put it on here and see if I can do it easier on there. So I'm just kind of shredding it a little bit by little bit. So then you put your shredded meat into your crock pot. You just want to get a lot of that fat off. And it might be a little bit difficult at first to get this cut. Don't worry about getting it so shredded because it's going to cook for another 4 hours and that'll make it fall right apart. So just get the best you can, just do the best you can on it, okay? Alright, so once you get your meat in there, just kind of stir everything together just a little bit, get that brown sugar all broke up. Now we're going to add 2 large jars of gravy. I'm using chicken gravy because of course I couldn't find pork. And now I'm going to add just a little bit of my leftover stock, just so it doesn't stick. I'm going to keep that there in case we need to add some more later on. Just kind of stir this together. And this is great over mashed potatoes, rice, homemade spatzels. I usually put it over spatzels. That's how we eat ours.
Great for dipping crusty bread into also.
Yeah, I'm going to add just a little bit more. So I put about 1/2 cup in. And that seems just about right. Okay, so now we're going to put this back into our crock pot base and we're going to cook it on high for another 4 hours. Alright, so our pork roast is done. I put it over mashed potatoes. This is what it looks like. It's not very colorful, but it is very tasty. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And remember, you do you.